The amazing world of Gumball is finally back. Kinda. It's been over 6 years since we last saw the show's finale, and through those 6 years, we were promised a new movie and a new season. But certain things got in the way and all of our dreams were shut down. Until today, on Hulu's official YouTube channel, as well as Cartoon Network and Gumball's channel, we received a brand new teaser for the brand new season. But it's a bit different. So today, we're going to quickly go over this new teaser and catch up from what we last saw of the cartoon. The season starts off in an abandoned and very dusty version of Elmore, where we hear an alarm going off inside the main character's bedroom, and we see Gumball waking up from a deep slumber, covered in dust. And we also see Darwin emerge from his fish tank, which is just dirty. I mean, what happened to them? Well, we soon find out, because after Gumball wipes out the dust with a single sneeze, Darwin says they're running late for school, and not by a few minutes, but by a few years, 7 to be exact, which refers to the approximate amount of time the fans have been waiting for ever since we last saw them. But in regular Gumball fashion, they decide to go back to sleep, you know, since they're already running late, so why hurry? And the teaser shows the original title card glitching and revealing the new logo and title, now named The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, a very similar but very different title, possibly referring to the new adventures we're going to see. And the teaser finally ends with Gumball's new streaming service, Hulu on Disney+. The video also provides a description for the show. It reads, "Welcome back to Elmore, where the laws of reality are a joke, and family life is anything but ordinary. Whether he's battling an evil fast food empire, facing off against a sentient AI in love with his mom, or trying to stop Banana Joe from wearing pants, Gumball drags Darwin, Anais, and the rest of Elmore along for the ride, with even wilder stories, bigger twists, and surreal humor. They had to rename it The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, streaming soon on Hulu, and with hashtag Hulu on Disney+. So the short summary touches on the reasoning for the name change and logo, revealing some intriguing new experiences for the popular blue cat and walking goldfish. But with this decision came a lot of different reactions. Some fans loving the new idea and direction, while others not so much. Many reminiscing about the good old times and mourning the loss of another childhood show. Now personally, I don't mind this new change. I think it was somewhat expected, as almost every reboot / continuation / picking up where you last left off of a previous existing show has decided to retitle, and the title itself isn't even that crazy. I honestly kind of like it actually. As for the new design, I don't think it's that bad either. It does look a bit strange at first glance, mainly due to its random textures and graphics, but it does fit their claim of providing even crazier episodes and moments. So it'll just take a little bit of getting used to before the fans fully accept it. As regards to the streaming platform, which was once believed to have been HBO Max, but revealed to be Hulu, isn't really a concern. Hulu has almost every other popular Cartoon Network show, including Adventure Time, Regular Show, Uncle Grandpa, and many more. I personally also watch most of these shows on Hulu as well, including The Amazing World of Gumball, so I'm sure for many, this might not be the biggest shock. Another expected change we're receiving is new voice actors, which isn't surprising at all really, since as many of you may already know, the show likes to change the actors for the main characters once they receive a certain age, due to their change in voice. The creators would obviously prefer the characters to sound like children, so forcing an actor to voice one of these characters just wouldn't sound natural. And the fans have already experienced these changes many years ago during the show's glory days. The new voice actor for Gumball is Akayo Thiel. For Darwin, it is Hero Hunter, and for Anais, it is Kinza Saeed Khan. All of these young stars have previous experience in other creative projects, so I'm sure they'll be great. I'm not worried about that at all, honestly, since I didn't even notice the original voice changes when I was a kid. As for Richard and Nicole Watterson, the parents of these popular characters, they will be voiced by Teresa Gallagher and Dan Russell. Yes, you heard me correctly. Their original voice actors will make a return for the revival of the show. And that is most of what we get from this new teaser and announcement. But it is still very exciting to receive any new update regarding the continuation of the show. But regarding the continuation of the show, how will it continue? As many of you may already know, the last episode we ever saw was titled The Inquisition, the cartoon's finale and cliffhanger that many people despised. This episode aired on June 24, 2019. Let me just take a moment here. Okay, this episode left fans devastated, not only because it was the last episode, but because it left us with more questions than answers. So let's quickly go over this episode once again. The episode starts off with Mr. Brown worryingly running through the hall, the library, the cafeteria, and many more areas, looking to approve any set bar in any type of way. But after noticing the expired textbooks, mushroom infested rooms, and horrible track records, He breaks down and reveals to the other teachers that the school superintendent is coming in for a visit. Superintendent Evil, or Evil as you would assume, states that he isn't there to break down the school and rebuild it. He is there to break it and everyone else, due to their wacky characters and reality-bending physics. While discussing Superintendent Evil's name, Gumball and Darwin see him talking to Banana Joe, telling him to fix his posture. And he does. And this is the first example of the change Evil was referring to. The other examples are Terry having to erase her face because tattoos aren't allowed, and Principal Brown and Miss Simeon ending their relationship because it isn't professional for staff members to date. But Miss Simeon quickly forgets this rule when she tries getting Evil's attention, to which she does. But he cuts her pay in half and basically calls her chopped. And Gumball and Darwin overhear this and they think it's funny, so they high five. And I mean high five. But as you would expect, Evil sees this and gives them detention. He also tells everyone else that every cartoon related action will be corrected. Once in detention, they discuss their plans to stop Evil while the rest of the class is in Evil's office getting fixed. And shortly after, we see exactly what they meant. Horrified by a humanoid version of Masami, they run away. But they accidentally bump into humanoid Tina, Tobias, and Sussy, who tell them to join them. And the duo backs up and falls against the door, revealing Evil's true motive, to turn every character into a human. Obviously terrified of this, Gumball and Darwin run away while Evil orders the rest of the students to run after them. And they do, only to realize that Gumball and Darwin aren't human yet and still have the ability to alter reality. So they abuse this in order to get away from the others and eventually force themselves through a vent, leading them to the outside. Once free from the chaos, they have a moment to catch their breath, and Gumball tells Darwin they need to go back to save their friends. Once inside, Gumball encounters Banana Joe, or Humanoid Joe, and he quickly tries to remind him of who he really is, and he does this by screaming loudly and acting a fool, which works. Banana Joe is able to free himself and the two share a victory dance. I'ma just leave this here for a moment. As for Darwin, he does the same with Sussy after seeing the success Gumball had with Joe, and it works again. So the two quickly speedrun the rest of their friends and faculty until everyone is back to normal. And Superintendent Evil appears and confronts everybody, even putting his dukes up. But he quickly realizes he isn't about it and decides to run away instead. But Banana Joe is able to take off his peel and throw it at the superintendent, which reveals his new oddly shaped head. So Gumball takes off the mask and reveals Rob is the one behind the chaos. But he jumps up and tries to explain to everybody why he did what he did. But before having the chance to explain, he is crushed by Tina, who smashes him into the ground with her tail, leaving him to suffer. Hours later, Rob wakes up and finds himself alone, condemning the others for their ignorance. And shortly after, the ground starts to shake and the floor cracks, revealing a large void and the start of the end to the amazing world of Gumball. And the episode ends. So now understanding the last episode of the cartoon and trying to compare it to the teaser, it hardly makes sense at all. The teaser doesn't include any real Easter eggs or information about the Inquisition, so the fans are forced to use their imagination and creativity to build a bridge between the two. However, there are a few possible episodes that will touch on the original ending and hopefully clear everything up. Well guys, it looks like that'll be it for today. Please share your opinions and let me know any thoughts you have on this new teaser, logo, video, or anything. I would love to hear from you. This video might have also caught some of you by surprise, as I normally don't upload this early in the week, but after seeing the teaser, I just had to upload something. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Later. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos as well.